Share embed iframe copy. Save. Okay, actually, I gotta play the fucking music. Go play.
So
That's going. Can you get your laptop speaker?
So Mamodara Zurula, he kone bina kumasa. Nebe sarala musohula, hatununya musohula, kula mogelema. Ibe konota segena, kidemolo segena, hakika no la mo abada. Kataga la mola, ibo di la mola, kika no tono dun abada. So Johnny la modenye, neni ndo ni la modenye. Johnny la modenye, fantabata la modenye. Na umanya nema, kala monye ponye ne duma la mo korodo. Johnny la modenye, neni ndo ni la modenye. Ni wolo teni bibolo, ikana dikata la mola. Ni demuzo mani bibolo, ikana dikata la mola. Denje mani bibolo, ikana dikata la mola. Ovena ni duzo kasiye, ovena ni sonjae sa
وحيدة ما يدرى بها الزمن. الشجر جف لما اتهلك، الجذع اتشقق واتكسر. وين يا وطن وين يا زمن، غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك في جبينك بالألم. وين يا وطن وين يا زمن، غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك في جبينك بالألم. دمك يسيح أنهار ملح، وأنا جنبك بموت عطش. حاولت أشرب لما انفجعت، أبكي المرارة اللي ما بتتبلع. وين يا وطن وين يا زمن، غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك في جبينك بالألم. وين يا وطن وين يا زمن، غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك في جبينك بالألم. حبي لك زي العشرة والشجر قلب جدب. حبي لك زي العشرة والشجر قلب جدب. ماشيين سوا نفتش مطر. وين يا وطن وين يا زمن، غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك في جبينك بالألم. وين يا وطن وين يا زمن، غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك في جبينك بالألم.
يا حبيبي حبيبي تعال تعال نتلم، مدام الريت انطلق الدم، مدام
his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. All right. I'm so glad I finally found you. Yes, that one in a million, girl. And now with my loving arms around you, honey, I can stand up and face the world. Let me tell you, your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. And I said your love keep on.
Jambo, everyone. Welcome to Kageno's spring event, Cocktails and Magic. We have a great event lined up for you tonight. We're going to start soon. Get your cocktail ingredients out and get ready for a magical evening. You can also go to our marketplace by clicking on the View Marketplace Items button below the live stream window and get yourself some wonderful jewelry, African wax print aprons, or decorative objects made by talented artisans in Kenya and Rwanda. Right above the View Marketplace Items, you will see information on our child sponsorship program. And for only $450, you can sponsor a child for the year in the program and contribute to our children's health and happiness. And I have to tell you, I do this every year and it's extremely rewarding. If 450 is too much, we also have smaller donation options to support our child sponsorship program. Any amount you can give will go a very long way. So thank you. Nyangé National Park, which borders Banda Village, is one of the oldest rainforests in Africa and Rwanda's largest remaining natural tract. It is home to amazing things. I mean, look at this view. Did you know it is home to 300 kinds of birds and 100 types of butterflies? And I've been there, I didn't see all those butterflies, but I'm sure they're all there. I did see a lot of birds and monkeys. And look at our monkey. Look at him, an ape. We have 13 species of primates. Look at those eyes. We're saving them too. Next up, the very funny Pete Dominic. Pete has hosted many events for us in the past. You may know him from his regular appearances on CNN and MSNBC. He has also been a guest on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher, the Joe Rogan Experience. I love Joe Rogan. Pete was the warm-up comic for the Colbert Report and the Daily Show. He is a veteran stand-up comedian, activist, and commentator, and is now the host of a daily news and analysis program, Stand Up with Pete Dominic. Please welcome our host for this evening, Pete Dominic.
Am I here? Is it working? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Are we off? Folks, thank you very much. I really am very excited to be joining you even virtually from my backyard shed this evening. I hope we can all get together for this amazing organization in person soon. Very happy to have you all here tonight. What a year it has been. So much has changed. I mean, 1 year ago, I actually had Brad Pitt's hair, and now look at me. I look sad and ill. But no, seriously, a lot has changed, good and bad. For me personally, for real, I have dropped body fat to an optimal percentage while acquiring a more committed relationship with drugs and alcohol. So all in all, I would say that's a pretty good for my first pandemic. But the last 15 months have taught us all that we are truly a global community and that we're in this together. I mean, most of us are, at least, right? We've also learned that a little goes a long way and that if everyone helps, everyone gets better. Now, unfortunately, my 13-year-old hasn't learned that lesson yet, but that's why we sent her away to a military academy where she is getting the type of discipline we hope will lead her to a bright future. I'm kidding, making jokes here at the top. My daughter's actually in the pool outside, Snapchatting her friends while making a TikTok and drinking a White Claw. Okay, I'm also kidding about the White Claw. But the fact that some of you got excited by the mention of that awful drink means that you are actually part of the problem. Luckily, we are going to learn how to make a real drink from an authentic pro in just a moment. But the point remains that a little goes a long way and that if everyone helps, everyone gets better. Collaboration creates solutions and cures, literal cures to our literal ills. We've learned that, and that is the spirit of tonight. Having a few laughs, cheering our successes, coming together to help out others, and of course, raise some money. So make sure you go to the marketplace. And speaking of the situation where the people live that we are supporting this evening, our villagers, they mask themselves and their children. There was no debate about that. They even sold those masks to some of you. They pivot when trouble arises. They do not crumble. They cannot be crushed. We, and I mean all of us, have helped these people find their footing over the past 20-something years, and they're determined to thrive with dignity. Money raised tonight will go directly to those villagers and that ecosystem for clean water, for seeds, for fresh foods that can be raised in their own gardens, for trees planted by students to help biodiversity and reforestation, to help teach a trade so no one has to resort to poaching or slash and burn agriculture. The setbacks from the pandemic will be overcome, and we are going to make sure they are overcome with respectful empowerment, because that's what Kageno does. So I hope that you survive the heat wave and that you're ready for the next one. And by the way, I think what bothers me, outside the obvious, what bothers me most about like this extreme weather is how it forces us to make small talk. Anybody with me? Am I just the biggest jerk? But small talk about the weather has really never interested me. You know, that's like a New York elevator thing. You get on the elevator on a day like today, someone else gets on. Ooh, sure is hot out there. Really? Yeah, I know, because like you, I'm a mammal. Is it really hot? I hadn't realized. Maybe that's why it looks like I jumped at a pool with my clothes on. And folks, I'm sorry. I'm not good enough. I haven't learned enough. I can't do this anymore. I have to end these small talk conversations about the extreme weather before they even get going. Just say something rude or shocking, especially in New York. New Yorkers get this. Yeah, sure is hot out there. I hope no old people die. Yeah, it's horrible thing to say. They get right off the elevator. That ends that, because the news always tells you what to do when it's hot like this. Don't leave your pets or your kids in the car. Really? Thank you for that public service announcement. If you know any elderly people living alone, you may want to check on them. New Yorkers, I don't know. I just feel like if you know that the old guy in the 9-bedroom rent controlled apartment for $500 is, and you've got a closet in the basement for $4,000, it's like you've had a good run, Gramps. I'm sorry. I mean, it's terrible, but just joking about what we are living through right now, which is a very hot week. So let's have a cool drink, shall we? Move along with our program. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you get to the marketplace. And now it's time to introduce a woman who is currently the in-house spirit whisperer at the Michelin Star Award-winning Musket Room. She loves personalizing cocktails using unconventional influences such as astrological signs, name etymology, and manifesting intentions for inspiration. Every herb, flower, and spice tells a story that she showcases through her cocktails. She doesn't mix cocktails, she curates them. Please give a warm Kageno welcome to Melissa Brooke. Take it from here, Melissa. I'll be right here watching and joining with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so flattered to be here right now. How about that heat?
Yeah.
Just kidding. You don't like that, right? So
No, I'm just ready to drink.
Okay, good. Well, then let's get to it. I'm so incredibly grateful to be here, and mostly why I am feeling like it is super fortuitous is this organization does so many wonderful things, and something that I kind of took a beat during the pandemic when I had a time away from the hospitality industry to think about was ingredients and where do they come from. Of course, sustainability being a huge factor that people are talking about finally, but also just the story of the ingredients. And different cultures have different stories about where these beautiful earthly ingredients, plants, spices, flowers, what have you, come from. And so I've taken some time to think about that from an ethereal perspective, from a mythological perspective, and otherwise, which is why today I asked everyone to choose one of 4 ingredients: sage, rosemary, thyme, or mint. If for whatever reason you are not able to do that, please right now, I would love for you to just think about which of those 4 ingredients you, resonate with the most. And I'm going to explain why.
Melissa, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know, but all I have is basil. Is that going to be... Can we do anything with basil?
You need to follow the instructions. So basil is not on the list.
I'm so sorry.
For today. She does not go in this cocktail.
I'm so sorry.
Basil is delicious. If you have basil, please feel free to just smack. So we smack. We're going to do that later. We smack our ingredients to kind of release the bouquet, the floral or the herbal bouquet. So you can just sit over there and do that with your basil. And
I will smack my basil.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the 4 ingredients and I'm going to tell everybody why I believe not only did you choose that ingredient, but it chose you. So we are going to start with sage. Sage is represented by the element of earth. The element of earth, I like to think of the element of earth always as picturing a tree taking root into the ground. And therefore the element of earth is exactly that. It's super grounding. It also rules prosperity. And you can think of that in terms of possibly abundance and also strength. So if you chose sage today, I would love for you to think about those kinds of sentiments and how they relate to you, how you may be lacking in some of those, or maybe you're super grateful for your strength or your prosperity, or maybe you're lacking grounding right now. A lot of the things that I'm going to talk about, I think, because of the past couple of years that we've experienced globally, I'd love for you to look at it from either a place of gratefulness or a place of what you'd like to manifest and bring into your life going forward. So now I'm going to move on to, sage. Did I say that was sage? That's sage. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to mint. Mint is ruled by the element of air. Air rules communication and travel. So for those of you who chose mint, I would love for you to think about how maybe word travels, which would be kind of communication and travel existing together, or travel itself. Again, a hot button topic, we haven't been able to. So maybe you're lacking travel. Maybe you're really excited about what the future holds for you. But if you chose mint, I would love for you to just think about communication and travel. Or another way I like to look at it, like I said, how word travels, like, are you over communicative? Like I tend to be, or do you not communicate enough? We are going to move on to thyme. So thyme is ruled by the element of water. And as I think everyone out there probably immediately gravitates towards, water is super nourishing. It's sensitive. It's intuitive. It's calming. So perhaps you chose thyme today because you need a little time. I actually just came up with that pun, you guys. I'm so excited and mortified. But for real, thyme, thank you. Are you looking for something more calming in your life? Perhaps you did actually just have a time period where you were alone through the pandemic and didn't socialize. So maybe you're looking for a little bit more excitement in your life. And that's how you can kind of look at the element of thyme. And finally, rosemary. Rosemary represents fire. So we have energy, we have passion, we have love, we have lust. So if you chose rosemary, I would love for you to take a look at that sector of your life and find out if you have too much energy, not enough, too much love, lust, passion.
Is it weird? I'd sorry to jump in again, Melissa, but is it weird that Rosemary chose me in 8th grade to be just her friend? Is that weird? Because that happened to me a lot.
Listen, then you learned at an early age the powers that Rosemary has.
Friend zone.
By the way. No, that's fine. And basil is represented by fire. So you're actually in that category. You can go there.
I'm back.
Although I don't know, you are very energetic. Maybe you should have chosen time.
Good point. I got to get some.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is keep all of that in mind as we're going through this, and we're going to translate that into making a classic cocktail, which I chose as a classic sour. I chose that for a bunch of reasons. Number one, it's actually really easy to make, and with the simple list of ingredients, you can actually make a bunch of different kinds of cocktails, or different named cocktails, if you will. And also because each of these ingredients actually work really well, basil will too, with the ingredients that I'm going to list. So to make a classic sour cocktail, you need 4 ingredients, and one of them is water by way of ice. So I'm grateful to say, I think probably most people here have access to water and ice, which is something we should all be grateful for sure. And assuming that that is the case, then the only other things you need are spirit, citrus, and sugar. If someone is not partaking in drinking today, I'm actually not either, because I didn't want to get drunk. So I'm drinking unsweetened black iced tea, which you can feel free to do so.
What the heck? You're not drinking? Come on. This is fraudulent. You must drink.
As soon as I go away and my logo comes up, it'll be a different ballgame.
All right.
And yeah, so if you're not drinking, that's cool. Also, again, if you didn't prep these ingredients in time, don't worry. What I'm going to teach you, these are like fun party tricks that you can utilize at any other time in the future, or even like later on. But if you do want to drink, go grab a beer or some wine from the fridge, or a White Claw from your 13-year-old, and we'll call it a day.
Julia, is my mic on? Sorry. Sorry. Give me a White Claw. Oh, sorry.
I think we're going to stick to a beautiful cocktail that was created, I'm here in New York City, so domestically, in the 1800s, actually. It's one of the first kind of families of cocktails that ever existed, when people decided to drink for fun and not just to cure what ails you. So the first thing we're going to do is start with our sugar. I believe I asked for people to either have honey syrup or simple syrup. You can do either for the purpose of this cocktail. And so we're just going to do, my hands are shaking. We're just going to do 3/4 ounces of honey. The reason why we start with the sugar first is because it's super viscous. And so as we continue going through the ingredients, they'll rinse out whatever is left over in your measuring tool. This, by the way, is called a jigger, which is what I'm using, but you can use simple measuring tools that you have in your kitchen. It's okay to use some rudimentary stuff you find lying around the house. In a traditional sour cocktail, you always do equal parts of the citrus and the sugar. I chose 3/4 ounces. You can always do 1 and 1, or if you prefer not super sweet, then you can always dial up the citrus and dial down the sugar. But equal parts, like if you have a traditional daiquiri, for example, I'm going to start naming cocktails that live in the sour family. So if you're drinking whiskey today, you're making a whiskey sour. If you're using simple syrup, you're making a whiskey sour. If you are using honey, you're making a gold rush. So that's, again, kind of like me trying to nail a hole in the idea that subbing in one ingredient for another within the umbrellas of spirit, citrus, sugar, and water, you can have like an entire arsenal of cocktails at your disposal. So finally, we're going to do spirit, and that's 2 ounces. And again, I'm doing unsweetened black iced tea, but you can do gin, vodka, rum, tequila. The world is your oyster. A margarita that subs in lemon juice for lime juice is called a daisy. That's some fun information. So it's not a margarita anymore, just with the simple switch of a citrus. Okay, now I'm just going to add my ice, and you can use whatever vessel that you would like to pour into. So I'm using a rocks glass, so I'm going to put rocks in it. You can use a martini glass, a coupe, whatever. This kind of cocktail tastes just as great whether it's up or on the rocks. And then you're just going to shake. So I'm actually just going to shake for like a second, but I don't want to waste time being loud, but you get my drift. That's what's going to happen. You're going to shake it up, get it super aerated, mix that sugar and that citrus together along with the spirit, and then you're going to strain it into your whatever vessel you've chosen to drink. And now we're going to add our secret ingredient. So what I would love for everyone to do after you've completed your cocktail, and if you've been having a hard time following along with me because I'm kind of going quickly, I apologize, but the ingredients list will be there for a while somewhere. So you can always do this again later if you're feeling pressurized, or just do a shot of whatever spirit you have. I'm going to use mint, which is ruled by air, and there she is, ruled by air, and therefore travel and communication, because what I would really love to do is manifest travel into my foreseeable future. And then what you're going to do is just smack the ingredient, and that again just releases all of the beautiful like bouquets of herbaceousness that are the oils that are living on the outside of, for example, the mint leaf. And then you're just going to garnish your cocktail with it. And there are other ways to incorporate herbs into cocktails that might be a little bit more advanced, like incorporating them into the syrups. I didn't want to do that today just for the sense of ease, but that is our cocktail. And the last thing that I would love to do, if I have a minute, is I just want to show you. So when bartenders light things on fire, we aren't just doing it because we love fire, although I do, and I am a fire sign. But what we do is we're expressing the oils that exist on the outside of the citrus fruit. And when you do it onto the cocktail, it's because you're getting those oils onto the top of the cocktail that then when you pick it up, you're getting that on the nose on your first sip. So what I would love to do, for those of you who can follow along with me, that's great. If not, please do this later, is take a pen or a Sharpie, peel a piece of the citrus, and on the pith, which is not the outside, but the inside, I want you to write down. If the ink doesn't work, that's okay. This is like a metaphorical, tactile way of manifesting what it is that we've been hopefully thinking about this whole time. So write down something that you'd like to either manifest or leave behind you within the realm of the herb that I explained to you. So I'm just going to write something down that I would love to manifest really quickly. And then what I would love for everyone to do is light it on fire. So taking matches or a lighter and being very careful, please. They usually say don't try this at home, but I'm telling you to try it at home, but carefully in the middle of a heat wave. And then you're just going to light it, and then you're going to do a little, yeah, you got it.
I don't have any fruit in my studio, so I'm just trying. I do have a lot of lighters.
If I do it like at you via screen, do you think that works?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. So, as I think you mentioned earlier, I am part of a magic mixology duo. So this magic is more ethereal magic meant to manifest all sorts of wonderful things into the collective here's lives. And I hope that we're also manifesting a little bit of magic for later on.
Awesome. That was awesome, Melissa. Can you hear me? That was a great. I love that. Where can people find out more about you, and if we want to see you in person, where is the place that you're currently slinging drinks at, and the artist that you are?
Thank you so much for asking. So I work at the Musket Room, which is in Nolita on Elizabeth, south of Houston Street. I'm the head bartender there, and then I don't know, my website was up there, but it's www.divinespirits.co, not com. We can't afford the com yet.
Is like the Musket Room, am I cool enough? Like as a middle-aged dad, will I make it in?
Yeah,
sounds like a very trendy place.
No, it's like cozy. It's Michelin star, but it's cozy.
Cool.
Fine dining.
Hope to see you in person there. Thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. Melissa, thank you. That was awesome.
You got it. Cheers.
All right, folks. Hope you are having a drink, and hope you'll be buying some stuff to support Kageno tonight. That is, of course, part of why we're here. So go to the marketplace and sponsor a child right now. Well, not right now, because I want you to hear our next speaker. Also, if you can get some playing cards, if you have playing cards anywhere, because you probably do, go get some playing cards. Get ready for our magic trick. But right now, I'm going to introduce our next speaker. She started her career at Google, where she worked in operations and co-founded Google Serve. Her specialty is in the intersection of ecology, community-based conservation, and business projects with China, Tanzania, and North Carolina, including a number of years with the African People and Wildlife Fund. So basically my old job. No, works to catalyze and integrate innovation across the organization as the Director of Conservation Innovation for an amazing organization, the Nature Conservancy in New York. We're very excited and honored to have Jennifer Chin joining us right now. Take it away, Jen, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Pete. Thanks for that amazing welcome. And Melissa, I was really excited because I picked sage and then you told me that it represented trees. I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about some trees and forests today. So I just thought, that aligns so perfectly. So thank you very much for all of that. Well, I'm really thrilled to be here with you today. I'm going to be speaking about the importance of conservation for community health and development. And so pleased to be here with the Kageno team, just an amazing organization, and hope that you will be supporting them today. So I'm going to just drop some slides here as I'm chatting, so you can take a look at some of the work that we do through the Nature Conservancy. One of the things that really excites me about Kageno's work is I've been fortunate to be able to travel around the world and really see how communities are working in conservation. I have a particularly cherished memory of my time in Tanzania, living alongside a community in an eco lodge during my work with the local nonprofit. And I really saw firsthand how the health of communities depends on the health of their environment. And perhaps even more importantly, when communities have a stake in conservation, they improve their families' finances, education, and stability. When communities are actually involved in designing the conservation work, the conservation work then occurs in a way that really seamlessly integrates with the culture and returns much, much higher impact, better returns, healthier forests, healthier communities, basically all of the things that we want to see when we really think about the work that we do in the conservation world. Not only that, but connecting communities to the conservation work brings them economic gains. And I think those benefits are really the things that we want to see, that the health of communities is rising alongside the health of the environments that they live in and that sustain them. So for the Nature Conservancy, our vision in Africa is of a place both wild and prosperous. It's a place where conservation protects ecosystems, wildlife, and sustains the communities and economies that depend on that nature. This is why I'm so excited that Kageno's Eco Lodge, this beautiful Eco Lodge, what's going to be in the buffer zone of the Nyungwe National Forest, is going to enable all of us to experience personally what it's like to live in communities, working in conservation right at the doorstep of such a spectacular, beautiful forest. For me, the most inspiring thing is being able to live amongst the communities, to see how they live, to see what they do. I mean, I think it's just a truly unforgettable experience. One thing that I did want to mention to you about forests is that 1/5 of our planet's remaining forests are in Africa. And sadly, these forests are vanishing faster than anywhere else. Forests are so important for all of our health. They mitigate carbon emissions, they protect biodiversity, and they sustain communities. Forest soils capture crucial rainfall, and that's rainfall that then flows to sustain farms, which grows food for people, quenches people's thirst, flows into the lakes and rivers, supports fisheries which people depend on, and supports livestock communities. So it's really these forests that are so, so important for all of the communities that we care about. Nyungwe Forest, it's so special because it's a refuge for a lot of endemic wildlife, plants that are found nowhere else, an incredible species of orchids, as well as you saw the monkeys, and you saw heard a little bit about the butterflies there and the bird species. So it is an extremely special place. And when forests such as Nyungwe are managed well, they really do provide these communities with an everlasting livelihood. Reforestation, preventing deforestation, being able to keep the soil green and healthy, not only fights climate change, but really ensures that the communities can thrive through economic opportunities that these forests represent. When people can be sustained by their environment, they protect it. And while in most of our lives, environment, healthcare, and education really occur in separate spheres, Kageno's work is helping to integrate all of those together for sort of this highest community benefit. So I just feel so privileged to be joining this organization today and to be able to talk to you about conservation. The Nature Conservancy's work really depends on organizations like Kageno. And so I just want to thank you so much for your support tonight. Definitely visit the marketplace, check out the sponsorships for the children, and thank you again for helping to build a new future for Rwandan communities. Now back to you, Pete.
Jennifer, that was awesome. Thank you very, very much. Really, really interested in your work. Seriously, totally engaged in your talk and those statistics. And I'd love to interview you on my excellent award-winning podcast. I mean, it hasn't won an award yet, but it will, especially if you come on with me. That was excellent. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to learn more about your work, and we're psyched to have you on the team. And I now have to move on, continue on. Also, don't forget, as Jennifer said, check out the marketplace. And hopefully you're wearing our famous Kageno apron. Anyone? Looking good. You can have, these are great aprons. I'm selling the apron. They're available in the marketplace. Go get them. They're perfect for barbecue parties and welding, I've found. Safe for that. They will not protect you from an X-ray. By the way, what is that all about? Where's Frank? He's a dentist. What's with that? The X-ray when the dentist hits the button and then runs out of the room and it's over and they give you that lead apron. I mean, that can't be doing all of the work, or you'd probably hang out for a hot second. I don't know what that's all about. I got to learn more about those aprons. So go get a Kageno apron, and there's a lot more available in the marketplace. All right. It's my honor again to introduce our next guest. Since the start of Kageno's been focused on the environment even more so the last few years. Now, if the soil is bad, you can't grow crops. If there's no harvest, your family doesn't eat. Without sanitation, clean water, disease spreads. And we tonight can help contribute to fixing all of that. Our next speaker's ongoing commitment to the environment and social responsibility is behind the design of our entire Banda Village compound. He's initiated a series of projects that explore the benefits of sustainable design. He and his team at SPG won the 11th Annual Inspiration Award for their work with Kageno. The award came with a $10,000 grant, which was donated to help further Kageno's mission. In 2019, we saluted him with our Outstanding Service Award. I was there for that. It was an exciting night. And tonight he is here to talk about sustainability and how we can change lives and save the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, my honor to again introduce to you Eric Gartner. Eric, take it away, and thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thank you so much. And hi, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. From the beginning of Kageno's efforts in Rwanda, I've been really impressed by their overall holistic approach to, moving closer. I've been very impressed by their holistic approach to the development of the project in Banda. And Kageno not only works with the local community members to assess their health, educational, and economic needs, but also has the vision to foresee the day when the community they engage moves forward to self-sufficiency. And to that end, we are going to talk today a little bit about the project that you see here. And this is an eco lodge and series of bungalows that will function as an eco-tourist center adjacent to the Kageno Banda Community Center, but also close to the Ngangwe forest. The first slide here shows the lodge, which has a small restaurant. It has a shop for the wares of local artisans. And here in the foreground, you can see some quarters for the trained guides who will be leading visitors to the nearby ecological sites in the Ngangwe. We've designed several different bungalows. This is a one-bedroom bungalow with some indoor and outdoor living area. There's a, sorry, I'm gonna scroll this way. There's a two-bedroom bungalow, also with small living areas. Adjacent to these bungalows are bathing pavilions with dry toilets, sinks, and shower facilities. All of this is rainwater collected, solar panels providing what limited power is needed. So it's sustainably conceived. For a more luxurious version of visiting the region, there are also going to be some larger bungalows with bathrooms inside the bungalows. And here you can see the plans and elevations of those. And some 3D views of people approaching a series of bungalows stretched along a walkway. Reforestation will create a more lush environment over time. Here is another view of the bungalow with natural ventilation available. Solar panels are on the roofs. They're on the rear, facing away from the view, opening it up with large coverings to protect from the weather. Here's a plan of the ecotourist facilities that we've designed and foresee for the future. You can see a restaurant to the left, a shop way to the left, a restaurant in the middle, and the quarters for the guides to the right. And here's some views. You can see the solar panels on the roof. What I want to stress here is that, as Jennifer said, nature and people must thrive together. So bringing people to the region from the outside will bring in much needed outside money to the region and allow the community to be economically sustainable and as sustainable as the buildings are ecologically. The goal is for the community to be able to move forward with less assistance and allow all of us, to people like us, to enjoy the beautiful nature that abounds nearby. So here's our final view. And hopefully all of this will be able to be built somewhat with your help by donating. And all of that information is available to you on the Kageno site. That's the end of my presentation. I think.
All right. Eric.
Yes.
Eric, thank you very much. That was very, very interesting and impressive as well. Really, really happy to have you here tonight and to have you on board. Is this something that you love to do? Is this something that you've done a lot of?
Kageno is really special to my heart. We've been working with Kageno for about 10 years, since the beginning of the Banda Rwanda project, and trying to forever create a vision of forward-looking, aspirational design for people who have a lot to look forward to in the future.
And one last question. What's it like to know that you're making a contribution which will last for such a long time and make such a difference in folks' lives? That must be a pretty cool talent to have, to be able to contribute to the world.
I think it's one of the great pleasures of being an architect. When you're able to do it with an organization like Kageno and really help a group of people like the very needy people in Banda, it's especially rewarding for sure.
Does it take a lot of math? Is that a pathway for my daughter?
Have her come in. I'll show her around our office and get her familiar with what we do.
I like it. I'm networking. Thank you so much. Really great to have you, Eric, again. Thank you.
So much.
All right, folks. Well, we had the cocktails, and we've had some great presentations and speakers, which we're so honored to have contributing tonight. It is now time for some magic. Who doesn't like magic? Come on. Kageno is no stranger to the old hocus pocus. It's truly, frankly, magical that all of you are here tonight. That each year we're miraculously or magically able to raise enough funds to keep feeding over 4,000 kids each day. That we've kept the clinic open in a pandemic and continue to heal thousands of people and dozens of women with prenatal care. Some of those women have also made some of the gifts in our marketplace. If you haven't sponsored a child yet, please head down to our child sponsorship tab, which should be right below the live stream window. And you can do that now. Okay, are we ready? I think we're ready. All right. This is going to be great. Okay, friends of Kageno, Mark Clearview is a world record-holding, world-renowned entertainer who regularly performs in a plethora of New York, Los Angeles, Paris, Singapore, and China. Pre-COVID-19, he was a frequent headliner at Caroline's on Broadway in the heart of Times Square, a performer at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and the resident magician at Paradise Club at New York's Edition Hotel. And in order to play along, please have 4 playing cards or pieces of paper ready. If you're still working on your cocktail, start to savor the ingredients for this trick to work and you finished it. And then attempt to recall the taste. All right, Mark Clearview, take it away, sir.
As I go through with this, you're going to follow along with everything that I do as I do it. So you'll have your 4 cards, and you will follow along, and you will make your own choices as you follow along. That will make sense in a second, but don't jump ahead of me. Don't jump behind me. Just do it as I do it in your hands, how it looks in my hands. Take those 4 cards and start mixing them up. It's time for you to start following along. Mix up the cards. And hold them like this, which we call dealer's grip, like you're about to deal the cards. But just hold them and mix them. You'll notice that they're all different on the faces. They'll just get mixed up. This. And now they'll be in an order that I couldn't possibly know, but definitely you couldn't possibly know because you will not look at the faces. And even though you're at home and I'm here, the magic will happen in your hands. Turn the cards outward so you can't see the faces of them, like this. And here's the hardest part. See if you can rip them as evenly as you can down the middle of the pattern. Let's do this. Now, the more astute among you will notice that now we have 8 playing cards. Now, this is totally up to you. This decision is one of the examples of decision you will make, even though I show you what to do. You'll make it on your own. Do you want to put the left pieces on top of the right or the right pieces on top of the left? They're in a random order. This will randomize them further. I'm going to do that, but you don't have to. So we have a new little packet of cards. Now, follow along with me. This is what we're doing for the whole trick. Take 1 piece off the top and put it on the bottom. Simple. I'll try with 2. Take 2 pieces off the top, make sure they don't stick together, you only have 2, and put those on the bottom. Great. Now spread them out in a fan. This is the hardest one. You'll take 1, 2, 3 pieces off the top, make sure you have 3 pieces, and shove them together anywhere you want in the middle, so you're mixing them up that way. Here we go. And then close the whole packet up again. Now this piece on top is your special piece. I want you to put it somewhere safe. Do not look at it though. I will put it near my heart, right over here in my handkerchief. And when you put that wherever you're putting it, think of somebody from your past, whatever that means to you. It could be a friend, it could be an ex. You might not want to think of an ex for this whole thing, or maybe you do, so it's totally up to you. Whoever came to mind first is probably who you want to use. Just put some thought into that and really do that now, or this won't work. Perfect. Now, with the rest of your pieces, follow along with me. Spread out the cards. You can take 1 piece if you had nothing but positive feelings for this person, or 2 pieces if it was a little bit complicated. Any of those 1 or 2 pieces, you'll put them together and stick them anywhere in the middle that you want. Just stick them in the middle, shuffle them up that way. Now this next one's a bit different. If to you your past means a week or months, you'll pick up 1. If it means over a year, you'll pick up 2. If it means over like 3 years or from your childhood, you'll pick up 3 pieces. I'm going to pick up 1, but remember this could be 1, 2, or 3. And now throw those pieces away. Those 1, 2, or 3 pieces, just get rid of them. So we're dwindling the pack down to 1 card. Now I don't know the last day of the week you saw this person, so we'll go through the days of the week also. Like this. Take 1 piece from the top, put it to the bottom, and say Monday. Take the next piece from the top, put it to the bottom, say Tuesday. And so on. Wednesday. Thursday. Friday. Saturday, stopping on Sunday, because that's the last day of the week. Now these are in a totally random order, based on what you've done and how many pieces you've thrown away. So this next part is called the Lover's Ritual. As we go through it, we'll get down to 1 card. When you have 1 card in your hand, don't throw it away. Hold on to that 1 card. And here's how we do it. 1 piece from the top, put it to the bottom, and say out loud, "They love me." Take the next piece from the top, throw it away, and say, "They love me not."
They love me not.
Remember, here we go. They love me. They love me not. 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 Until you get down to 1 card. Now with this card, I want you to think of yourself and all the ways you've grown since you last saw this person. If you're meant to see them again, you'll go look at that other half which you put away earlier. And for the first time, you'll check and see that those in your hands are a perfect match.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not think that that's how it was going to go, Mark. That was good. It also brought up a lot of issues for me personally. My journals should be labeled unrequited love. And also, it was very impressive. Very, very impressive. And thank you very much. That was awesome. All right, Mark, that was really, really great. Mark Clearview, thank you very much for joining us tonight as well. Now, folks, before we go, we do have one more very special guest who I'm excited to introduce, to say a few important words about our child sponsorship program. I interviewed her myself on my program a few years back. She couldn't have been kinder, more down to earth, more authentic. She's an award-winning actress and activist. We're really excited to have her joining us tonight. Please welcome Minnie Driver.
It's such a fun night. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I'm here for the children, 300 to be exact, 300 little ones that really need your help. Every day, Kageno provides a meal to these impoverished children. We provide access to healthcare, including vaccinations. We teach them reading and writing. We even teach them how to brush their teeth. For $450, you can sponsor a child for an entire year. And we've said, this year, we need your help and love more than ever. We have no surplus of extra money to get us through a pandemic. No cushion or safety net for these kids hanging on by a thread. There's no stimulus check coming for us in the mail. Therefore, we so desperately right now need for you to go to kageno.org and open the tab that says the Giving Tree Room and Child Sponsorship. And as you look at all those faces, please consider committing to sponsoring one of these gorgeous children. It's only $450 to sponsor a child for one whole year. That's just over $1 a day. Please don't let any child be left behind.
All right, that was awesome. Really, really happy to have Minnie Driver joining us because she is a real force. Like I said, an authentic, awesome, passionate person, and I was really happy to see her name involved and have her joining us and participating. Thank you very much, Minnie Driver, and thank you very much to all of our speakers tonight. And they didn't give me a whole bunch of names or anything, but I do just want to say there's a lot of people behind the scenes putting this together and a lot of really generous folks as well that I've learned a lot of great role modeling from. So great evening, speakers, cocktails, magic. We couldn't do it without you. And 92 cents of every dollar goes straight to Kenya, everybody, and Rwanda, of course. Many of you have just fed a child on the other side of the planet and helped create a safe, sustainable world so that they can grow up in. The marketplace and child sponsorship will stay open until 8 p.m., so you have about 15 more minutes. I hope that you'll visit. I hope that you'll buy something from Kageno or consider sponsoring a child. And, of course, you can always visit our website, make a donation, sponsor a child, share this organization on your social media, tell your friends about them, bring them into the Kageno American community so they can join us next time. Lastly, before you leave, if you've purchased or donated anything tonight, please make sure to click the pay tab at the top of your screen. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'll be talking about this on my daily podcast, Stand Up with Pete Dominic. As always, such an honor to be with you tonight, to network with you, to learn more about you, and mostly for your generous contributions. Thank you so much. Good night.